if you're born with a limb difference, you figure out your own ways of doing things and adapting things. I didn't even know there were adaptations for some of these things. Although it's really cool to find my own way around things and adapt the world to me, someone can adapt me to the world, then yeah, I should look into more.
It's like the social model of disability, isn't it? It's the world around us that makes us disabled more than like our own disabilities. Hi, and welcome back to Offhand, the podcast by Reach Charity, where we have open and honest conversations about life with an upper limb difference. I'm your host, Megan, and today we're talking about life and how we adapt to it, from the little hacks that make everyday life easier, and maybe to the creative ways that we navigate, say, with clothing or any physical adaptations we might potentially buy. And I'm excited today to say that I'm joined again by Lottie.
Hello. Thanks for having me again.
So this topic is obviously not a one-size-fits-all, as it always is within our lovely community. We know that what might work for one person might not work for another, but we're just going to share our own personal experiences, and maybe things that we might be aware of, but maybe haven't necessarily tried. So thinking about adaptations, and that can be anything that you've adapted to the way that you do life, essentially. Is there any one that really stands out for you?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, there's very physical, sort of tactile adaptations that you can buy, like you said, which, if I'm being honest, I haven't really actually made use of any of those. I think I normally, when I think about it, I think what I mainly do is that I do kind of adapt things, like other things, to myself, if that makes sense. But yeah, the main physical adaptation that stands out to me was the recorder that I had at school that I mentioned in another episode. Because that was something that I made really good use of. And that was something that was adapted to me, that made such a huge difference to it. It sounds really silly because it's such a tiny thing, but being able to use something that meant that I could be included and feel still part of something at school was so helpful. That was, so the way that worked was it was provided by Reach, and instead of the holes that you would normally have that you put your fingers over, it had almost like little presses, like little levers.
Oh yeah.
So instead of having to have the length of your finger to cover the holes, the levers kind of stuck right out, so you could hit them much more easily, if that makes sense. And it was easier to play more one-handed than two-handed. So that was a really cool, very tactile adaptation that I made such good use of.
And now you're the world's #1 recorder player.
Oh yeah. Of course. Kept it going all this time. Playing a recorder orchestra. I can't say that my talent grew, but it was that was an adaptation that, like I say, I really was able to make good use of.
That's lovely.
And, had I not had that, I would have had to sit out, I imagine, because that was the instrument that they chose for whatever reason. It's
the one, isn't it? But that's a really, really, really nice example, and the fact of how you could still feel like you were included and take part in these songs that would have been doing. And I know we talked about it before, but still need to clarify if it's the same recorder that goes around to different people, or how many do we have. But this little recorder might have gone on its own little journey. I'm pretty sure a trustee, Steve Haynes, he actually went on to have a musical career, and I think he did start out with the Reach recorder.
Wow.
So never know.
There you go.
Could be the next Elton John. I think he ended up in an orchestra. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? Not playing the recorder, I don't believe.
But that's what got him started.
Was
that a Reach adapted one that he used? Yeah.
I believe so.
Wow.
I mean, I'm gonna have to verify this, but I'm pretty sure. Otherwise, I'm just making up a fun story. But like phone a friend. Steve, is this correct? But no, I think it's correct. Yes, I didn't know. Of course, I didn't know about Reach when I was younger, so I didn't know this magical recorder existed. And I did have a teacher that was kind enough to find me some other instrument that I could play. It was almost like an accordion or something. I don't know, like a harmonica mixed with an accordion. I'm making things up. I don't know anything about instruments. Whilst I guess I had something that I could still do, I wasn't as probably included. But he also did make me sing Happy Birthday to rate my singing abilities and gave me 2 out of 10. And I have never forgotten that.
That's so hard.
So harsh for like a child, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's because you're meant to sing a song that, you know, of your own choosing, and I wouldn't do it. So in the end, he made me sing Happy Birthday. So.
Oh, that is cruel.
Yeah, that's a real
You'd
side
at least give 50%.
Yeah. I think it ruined me singing Happy Birthday for many years, to be honest. I was like, oh God, no one can hear me sing Happy Birthday to them. We actually do still lend out a recorder, whether it's the recorder, I don't know.
Really?
So if anyone is listening and their child is coming up to the age where you need a recorder, then please do contact Reach. I believe it's about £30 to hire.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You can also hire a scissor kit, which I never had.
Oh, wow.
I'm intrigued. But yeah, these are just some adapted scissors. I'm not quite sure how they help you, but
that would be useful. Yeah, especially at school.
Yeah. I mean, do you remember anything? Did you get given anything at school other than your recorder? Like, did you use like any like mat? I think I had a mat to hold down my like notebook or paper. I mean, I was back in the day. I didn't have a laptop or anything at school. Wait, were you on laptops and stuff? iPad?
No, I don't. I think I was just before that. But yeah, the main thing I actually remember from school was in food tech lessons at secondary school, because I can't admit that I was very helpful around the house and I hadn't really done that much cooking at home. Sorry, Mum. Yeah.
I think I was the same.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mum.
I mean, it's mainly just the fact my mum's such a great cook that there was no need for me to do it.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, when I came to do food tech lessons at school, at secondary school, I realised that though, you know, it's a very tactile subject and there were a few things that I struggled with. One of which was, for some reason, onions. They still are the bane of my life.
They are.
There's just something about the shape of an onion that I couldn't grip it. I can't get my hand around it. I can't steady it. And obviously if you're cutting something, you need to have a good grip and it needs to be steady. And I remember really specifically, my teacher was so lovely. She could tell quite soon on that I was struggling with that. And I was having to get the person next to me to do it for me because I was so scared of I just couldn't get my hand on it. I was scared of some kind of knife accident. So I was always just asking my neighbour to do it. And I remember her coming over, the teacher, and she was like, we need to figure a way out. We need to figure out a way of getting this to work. And I can't remember how she did it exactly, but she made me she added something onto the chopping board that like held the onion in place so that then I didn't even really, I steadied my left hand on it, but not to the point that I needed to fully grip it. Yeah. And then I could obviously do all the chopping with my right hand. I'm trying to remember what she used. It was like, almost like a kind of clamp thing, but it was nothing as like...
I have seen they do chopping boards, I think, with like almost like little spikes sticking out of that you can... But I don't know what she would have brought out for that, but yeah, that you can put the item on to cut, which is pretty cool. I think I've mentioned this before, but I think I used to use more like an electronic... I call it like an onion whizzer, because I think that's what my mum calls it, like a little whizzer, but I'm sure it's just like a vegetable chopper or something. But it's just perfect to do your onions. So yeah, that's just in general for anyone. Like, who wants to be chopping onions forever?
Exactly.
But admittedly, I'm a little bit like you might have been in that. Well, as soon as I also met with my wife, and I used to cook when I was at uni and everything. And my mum, when she sent me off to uni, she did buy me a few of these little gadgets. But then as soon as I met my wife, that's kind of like her role. I'm like, oh, I can't cut the onion.
Oh, what a shame.
Oh, I can't cut. Yeah, and it also made me cry. But yeah. So she had to take on that task. But sometimes I do chop things up, and we kind of call it a bit like hand, like the way, I don't know, it's just like, obviously handy is my limb difference, just very handy looking chopped vegetables, shall we say, like not very nice to eat. Just bam, 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 that'll do. You get
some
what you get.
wonky ones here and there. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think you've got your way around it, and even if they come out slightly wonky, the wonky ones are always the cheapest in the shop. Yeah. Cost efficient.
Absolutely. Yeah, may as well buy the wonky vegetable to cut them wonky. Then
yeah.
Another thing that I still use from uni actually is, do you ever find like an issue with grating cheese?
Not particularly, because I had one of those graters that has a box in the bottom.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I use.
Yeah, because an actual grater would be a bit too difficult. So just catch it all in the box. Yeah,
that's what I use too. So it's not really like an adaptation, but it's just like, I'm like, that's the grater I use, and I still use that.
That's a great hack.
Crazy too. Yeah, I
think the kitchen hacks and adaptations are probably some of the most useful, because obviously in the kitchen is such like a tactile, lots of jobs that require your hands. So anything that you can find to find your own way around it is definitely helpful. And I was so chuffed that my food tech teacher, it was like she'd spotted it before I'd really even.
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah.
It meant, again, that I didn't have to... I think she felt bad that I was having to rely on somebody else and wanted me to be more independent. So, I think with any kind of adaptation, like, it gives you that more independence, doesn't it? Which is, ultimately what you want. You don't want to feel like you have to rely on somebody else. So, I was really, really pleased about that one.
Yeah, definitely. It does give you that independence. What about when it comes to driving? Do you have any adaptations?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that actually. That was like the one I always remember when people at school would be like, oh, like, are there things you can't do with your hand, or things you are worried you won't be able to do? Driving was the one thing I was like, I really, really want to be able to drive. And I actually I had no idea how I would go about it. I didn't know whether I would even be able to, because obviously driving in the UK, I thought, well, gear stick will be left hand because my limb difference is my left hand. Handbrake will be left hand. So I was already sort of thinking, will I need an adaptation, or will it be all right? And I remember my first driving lesson, one of my friends taught me to drive. He is a driving instructor, and he happens to be my friend. And I remember I got in the car and I was like, do you think I'm going to need an adaptation? Like, I can get in contact with a charity that I know, Reach, potentially. And he was like, nah, you'll be fine. We'll figure it out. So he actually was more confident, than I was. And he said, because he knew about my hand already, because he was already my friend, he said, like, I've been watching some videos and I've like heard about other people who've had customers with limb differences, and like we'll find a way around it. So when I started my lessons, the gear stick was actually okay, because I could just get my thumb around it and sort of rest my palm on it, so I almost push it more with my palm than like gripping the fingers around it. So that was okay. And steering was actually okay, because I rely most on my right hand, and then I'm blessed that I have my thumb that I can hook around. So the steering was okay as well. The one issue I had was the handbrake. And I felt so bad for my driving instructor, because I was just convinced that I couldn't do the handbrake, because that was a bit more like...
it is tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, it was just a bit wider and I couldn't get my hand around it fully. So I just kept riding his clutch all the time, which is obviously so bad for it. And he was like, Lottie, you can't be riding my clutch all the time. So my way around that was not the safest thing, but I would actually take both hands off the wheel and quickly
lean over
with my right hand and use both hands to do it. And that kind of worked for while I was learning. But actually now, I don't really know how. I don't know if I've just developed more strength in my left hand, or if the car that I drive now has a slightly thinner handbrake, but I can just about manage it now with my left hand. But that's taken a lot of practice. Like,
yeah,
I've done a lot of years of leaning like this, which is not very safe. But yeah, so I thought that I might need an adaptation, but actually,
so you drive a manual car?
Drive a manual, yeah.
Wow.
Obviously, an automatic is way easier.
We've just posted a video recently of one of our Reach members who got an adaptation to her car through the Reach bursary. So I don't know if you know that we have a bursary.
No, I didn't.
Which is really cool. Yeah, we fund adaptations. You do have to be under 25, so I'm a little bit out of the age bracket. But, and I believe we fund up to, I think, £2,000.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Awesome. So people have used it for different things. But for example, Elle Marie, she's used the Reach bursaries to have an adaptive, like canoeing. What would you call it?
Paddle? Yeah.
No, I'm not obviously a sport.
Not at all.
She's got one of those, and then she's also got this really cool adaptation to her car, which I've never even seen before and knew existed. And it basically is almost like a little steering wheel on the car, but on it has buttons that you can push that will do like your wipers or indicate.
Wow.
It's really,
that's
really
so cool.
Makes it so much easier. So
so it's all just one thing.
Yeah, one little thing. Yeah. So if anyone is thinking about driving or nervous about it, or their children are looking into it, I'd highly recommend.
Does the bursary cover any kind of adaptation, or is it mainly drivers? Anything? Yeah,
I think it's anything that someone might find that would just help and make their life easier. I believe.
That's great.
There may be T's and C's, which I believe are on the website. But we don't also only just do like adaptations. We also fund memberships. So Reach is a membership charity. For those who are listening might not be aware, and we recognise that not everyone can afford membership, so we do also fund that as well. And there's also an activity bursary. So for example, we have the Reach Activity Week, which are for children aged 10 to 17, and that's at like discounted price anyway for everyone to attend, but we also still recognize that that's still not affordable for everyone. So we do have a few bursary places left, I believe, and also this is also funded, specifically the one for Reach Activity Week, we did a massive fundraiser during December time called the Big Give. And so that's like what a portion of that went to. So thank you very much to everyone who helped.
Yeah, that's great.
That's brilliant. And hopefully we'll do another one later on. Well, again, it'll be December because it's a Christmas thing. Hopefully we'll do one again. So
yeah. Oh, lovely. That's great. And then it goes towards something that you can really see the impact as well with the adaptations.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Do you think you've ever wished there was an adaptation for something that like didn't exist, or you couldn't figure your way around, or do you think that you maybe always naturally figure a way around something, if that makes sense?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I think, to be honest, I probably figure out a way around things without even realizing it sometimes. I know there's things where I definitely have to consciously think, right, how am I going to do this? Like, for example, if I've been shopping, like for a food shop, and there's like heavy carry bags or tote bags, like that, one, because of the weight of it, but two, because of just like holding the handles. Yeah. That's like, I really struggle to hold that in my left hand. So quite often I will come to like get bags out of the car or something and think, right, how am I going to hold this one this time? But yeah, that's something where I would just think, what other way around it is there? And I end up just using other parts of my body. So I use my wrist, I've noticed, and my elbow a lot. So to carry bags, I prop them on my wrist. So I turn my hand like palm facing down, and I would just prop a bag of shopping on my wrist, which is probably not great for my wrist, but that's just easier for me to balance it than try and like grip onto the handles.
Yeah.
Or likewise, I stick it in like the crease of my elbow. Yeah, so I do that with a lot of things. Like when I was thinking about this topic, I was like consciously yesterday trying to observe how I do things from like an outside perspective. And I think I use my elbow and my wrist a lot, actually.
I did the exact same. Yeah, literally I carried shopping back and it was a bit heavy, some groceries, and I did it in my elbow. And later on that night, I was like, oh my gosh, I have a little rash. I was trying to figure out what it is, and I thought because of the heat, I think it was a heat rash with carrying it, obviously rubbing a bit. And I do find it funny because my left arm doesn't have as much muscle as my right at all. I don't know.
Same.
I think it's the same for a lot of us. We don't naturally use it as much, but then it can do random things like carry heavy shopping, like on the arm. Like, okay, I'll do that. It's just a bit weird sometimes, isn't it? Do you think it's almost like when I'm holding my daughter, I hold her a lot on my left arm, and I'm sure Handy's got hench, you know. Well, I'm sure over the year, Handy's a 20-pound baby now. But like sometimes I can just sort of hold her without even thinking about it and not really like feel like I'm using my muscle, and just like she's just there. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I can't hold her anymore. Like Handy's out of muscle. She's done. So it's quite funny. I feel like sometimes it can almost have like imaginary amount of weight on it and it'd be fine for like a certain amount.
Yeah, you surprise yourself with like the strength of it. I was going to say like I've started going to the gym recently, and something I've never done in my life before.
Wow.
And I would thanks. And I was going to do weights, and I was with my brother, and he's like a gym bunny. He knows what he's doing, and I do not know what I'm doing. And I didn't even think like, oh, how would I even hold a weight? Not only because it's heavy, but to like actually grip around it. And he was like, oh yeah, we'll have to figure out a way around this one. So I actually now just have very imbalanced weights. So I do like maybe, I don't know, 7 kilos with my right hand and like 1 kilo with my left hand. So I'm going to have very disproportionate muscle strength. So yeah, then I think like, oh, this arm is a lot weaker and less.
There's definitely adaptations for weights and things like that.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, I have to look into who, but I think Active Hands are one of the brands that do a lot of adaptations that are just like handy at like from the kitchen to I think gym stuff, and they have different things like all attached to the weights. When I was working out back in the day, always these little weights that you strap around, probably like ankle weights, but I'd strap around my wrist. At least it's something, and at least you know you're obviously managing to do something. It's still going to be working the muscle there, and you probably will have to work it up to the 7.
We won't get that straight away.
So but there's a lot of people who obviously do gym a lot. That's actually the simplest there, but a little gym buff. So I'm sure they have some hacks out there for us all. If you're listening, like to pass on your top tips, then please do drop us a DM. We'll pass it on to Lottie.
Yes, please.
We can document you trying them out, Lottie. Well, that's what we should do.
That could be a new series.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'll let you do that one.
I'll sort it. I was just going to ask, is there an adaptation that you wish there was, like something you...
I think that's a good question. I don't know why I asked it myself. But
just firing it back.
I think maybe things such as clothes that with sleeves would be if there's like an easy way to adapt them, or buy different length sleeved items or something weird. Do you know how it's always like short, long, tall on trousers?
Yeah. Like, then don't do that on the top.
Wouldn't really work though, would it? Because then you'd have a short sleeve on one side. That's not going to work, is it?
But it's better than like a dangly.
They're saying because there's a petition that a mum has started that has child with a limb difference for. It's a petition for Vinted to include the like search option for adapted clothing. So she's adapted a lot of clothing, and obviously it's like, well, what can I do with this clothing now that my child's grown out of it? Obviously it could help other people who have like similar limb differences, and equally she likes to shop on Vinted and can't find like secondhand clothes, I guess, that can be for her child. So I think that's a really good campaign. It's one that Reach are getting behind as well. And I've got to admit, I haven't like learned amazing sewing skills to combat this. I just either deal with a longer sleeve. Now I'm older. My mum used to probably do it with my uniform, like sort it out a bit, but as I'm getting older or whatever. I think I've actually taken like one dress that had longer sleeves to be adapted. What's the word?
Like altered.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, why didn't I do this more? Never done it since. But on that one occasion, I was like, and it was quite, it was quite strange. Like, oh, I should actually like adapt this sleeve. And it was nice having a dress that actually felt like it fitted for once.
Properly fit, Do you often just roll the sleeve up then?
Yeah, and I know there's like a hack that you can put like an elastic band or like a hairband, and it's like sort of, say you've got like a blazer, you could put it there and then like pull up the fabric a bit and it will stay there.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think that's a good hack, but at the same time, for me, I find that like just feeling constrictive. So I guess
Yeah,
if
I
there was
understand that.
something that was a bit looser but might hold it in place would be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, most of the time we just kind of figure our way around things.
Yeah, there's always like an inventive way of doing things. Like something I always found annoying was gloves, because like if you go for the obviously like the finger glove option, it will fit my right hand like a glove. And then my left hand, I always hated that I'd have like loads of like flappy material and it just gets in the way and it's just no use. And then obviously you can have mittens, but then like I don't like that you can't really do as much with mittens. They're not as dexterous.
Yeah.
And also even a mitten would have a flappy bit because it wouldn't, like, there's nothing to fill it. But a hack I have for this is I only came across it when I was on my year abroad in Germany. I just randomly stumbled across this shop that were selling like hats and scarves and gloves. And a friend who I was with was like, oh, look how cute these are. And she found some like little kids mittens.
Oh, yeah.
And I suddenly thought, oh my goodness, this is like the perfect hack. So they had adult-sized gloves with like fingers, finger holes, I don't know what you call them. And then in the same colour, they had kids' mittens. So I bought a pack of each, and then I took one from each. So on my right hand, I wore the glove, adult glove, and then I wore a kid's mitten on my left hand, and it fit perfectly. I had no flappy material. Yeah, it just works so well. I never even thought about that.
That is good. Yeah, very good there. Also a bit annoying to buy two, so you're spending double the cost there. But equally, at least you found a way around it. Yeah, I often do that, and then, or like I have, like what you said, like I wear like a one mitten and one on hand, and then like, and it's just like, yeah, you want to match. So the fact that you managed to find they came in the same color is really good.
Yeah.
There's actually a company, and I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. And they're called like Mimi Tens, maybe. It's like Mimi and then Tens.
Okay.
Play on mittens, but I'm not quite sure there. But they do mean difference mittens. I apologise if they're listening as to how I really mucked up how you pronounce the brand. But yeah, it's really interesting that they do ones that are specifically catered towards those with limb differences. They're from Canada, I believe, and they kindly sent some over to Reach. So we do have some. So if anyone needs any, you can always inquire. And I think we often bring them out at our annual family weekend as well. So you can always try and hunt them down then and see if they'll be of use. I think they've designed them in a way that would fit. I haven't used it myself yet, but I just know that's out there.
Oh, I will definitely look into that, because it would save me having to buy kids mittens and adult gloves if I can buy my own. But that's a perfect adaptation that would mean you wouldn't have to figure out your own life hack for something. Yeah,
exactly. And I know this is different, but I wish something like this could almost exist for gloves, but it's not like there's like a brand of gloves that's like really like, oh yeah, that's the brand of gloves. Because what I'm gonna say is, like, I think it's okay, and I could be getting this wrong, I think it's Nike that have started to sell one shoe. So because for like amputees or have like a lower limb difference, obviously they have to buy two shoes. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, they have to buy a pair of shoes. I'm so sorry that my dog is barking.
That's okay. Don't worry.
Hang on, we'll just.
Oh, what a cutie!
Anyone? Hello. My dog barking. There, she says hello.
Oh.
So yeah, sorry about that if my dog was interrupting that, but
that's all right.
Confirmed it is Nike or Nike. I don't know which is the American or English pronunciation of these brands.
I have no idea.
I'm American and I get things confused all the time now. But yeah, they support amputees through what there's called the One Shoe Bank, which is really cool.
That's great.
Oh my god, they actually provide them with one free shoe per year. Well, that's really nice.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. So who can we get to provide free gloves? I don't know. But the thing is, we do need 2 gloves because the other hand will be cold. We can't have 1 glove, can we?
Yeah, you do want the warmth. Yeah.
But ours is actually double the cost. So I guess with buying shoes, you buy shoes and it's just like a waste, isn't it, of a shoe, basically?
Yeah, that's true.
With us, we technically do have to buy maybe twice the gloves because if you want to have a mitten for one hand or like a child's mitten, like you said, then that is definitely double the cost there, isn't there? So yeah, if we could ever think of like an amazing brand out there that would be so kind, like accessorize for somebody, I don't know.
Please come up with something. If you're born with a limb difference, you figure out your own ways of doing things and adapting things all the time, and it's just kind of part of life. But I think like some of the things you've mentioned, I didn't even know there were adaptations for some of these things. So if there are things out there that you can use, I think it's a reminder to me to actually like go out and look for them, because although it's really cool to find my own way around things and adapt the world to me, someone can adapt me to the world. Is that the right way around? No, maybe I've got it the wrong way around. But yeah, if there's a way of adapting that does it for me, then I think I should look into more and definitely
like the social model of disability, isn't it? It's like it's the world around us that makes us disabled more than like our own disability. So if there's things out there that can help us, then that's handy, isn't it? And another thing that you just briefly touch upon is makeup as well. Like a lot of people don't find makeup very easy to use one-handed or especially when it comes to like opening the packaging. And there is a specific brand out there, if you weren't aware, called Tilt Beauty, and their packaging is aimed at people with disabilities to use them. So they're easier to grip, easier to open, like have more of like magnetic closure maybe. So I think that's really cool, that stuff like that is beginning to exist basically. And I know that Rare Beauty, which is founded by Selena Gomez, because she has disability as well, so she tries to make sure her packaging is easy to use.
That's great.
So that's quite good to know, I would say.
I've learned so much this episode. I'm going to make notes of all these things and go and search for them.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, if anyone's listening and they're like oh my god, no, I have a great like tip or adaptation or brand to share with us, then please do let us know. Great tip. If you drop us a DM or Reach Charity UK, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, because I bet people have such good life hacks. Like there's so many things we must do differently that we can inspire or give good tips for. So I'd love to hear what other people do. Sharing is absolutely caring.
Oh, well, thank you, Lottie. It's been great. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you for having me again. It was lovely.
Yeah. And thank you so much to everyone listening to the episode of Offhand. And we hope this episode reminds you that there's no right way to do something, but that we all have our own unique way of adapting to life. And if this resonated with you, then please do let us know. Drop us a DM or an email or contact us at Reach Charity UK. And please do hit that like button, follow and subscribe, and give us a rating wherever you do get your podcasts. And please do come back for another episode of Offhand.